Welcome back, everybody. I am here with Mindez, who's about to run Discworld for us. So whenever you're ready, take it away.
Alright, thank you very much for that introduction. My name is Mindez, I'm going to be running Discworld, and yeah, this is a very short run with a lot to explain, so we're going to get straight into it. This is also, there is a slight change to the route from any time I've previously done this at marathon run, so this is a marathon first that we're going to get to the new audio route. Just to show before I start the run, we have no save files, and we have sound effects turned on, voice turned off. That's just for verification purposes. And we're going to start a new game, and time is going to begin in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So this is Discworld. It is a 1995 point-and-click adventure game based on the Discworld series. This is a really bad start, but well. Written by, it's a series of novels written by Terry Pratchett, who is a British author, passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago. It's a series of 41 books, and that's not the only thing that Terry Pratchett wrote. So yeah, he very much a lot of books in this series, and it's all about a world called Discworld, which is kind of a flat Earth on the back of a giant turtle moving through space, obviously. And this game in particular is based on the Guards novel, which except instead of having the City Watch as the main character, we have Rincewind as the main character. But this game is one of those rare point-and-click adventure games that is actually super fun to speedrun because it is very, very broken, and we're going to see that in a moment. First thing we need to do is unlock our luggage up here by waking him up. Luggage is our inventory. He has a box made of sapient pearwood, and he follows us around, and he's going to act as our inventory, so we can click on him, and that's where we're going to be storing our items. I do need to make a few save files just before we carry on. Hopefully I'll have time here. 1, 2... I made 2 of them, that's fine, that's enough for now. Because we're going to be moving items around between save files. So I'm going to save on the first save file here, and this is an incredibly very glitch run. And what we're going to do is be able to move items between save files, which is going to save us a lot of movement throughout the game. So as you see, I just put a save on slot 1. We're going to give the banana to the librarian because we've just been sent down to the library to get a book. Now we've given payment for the book, the librarian is going to go off and find our book and give it to us, and then rather than walking back, we can just go ahead and reload 1, and then, oh my god, we have the book already up here. How nice. How convenient. And that is just a taste of the ridiculous things that we're going to be doing throughout the course of this run. So, in Act 1, we're supposed to be building a dragon detector, and this dragon detector is supposed to consist of 5 different artifacts. But that sounds really slow, going off and collecting 5 different artifacts, and this is a speedrun, so what we're going to do instead, we're just going to collect 1 artifact 5 separate times. So we're going to come here, we're going to get the staff, which is the first artifact, we're going to save on 2, we're going to load 1, we've got the staff here, we're going to turn it in. We're going to save 1 and load 2. Oh, look, we've got another staff, which we're going to also turn in. And this works, because rather than checking that you've turned in 1 of each item, it just checks to see how many total items you have turned in. So we can just keep duplicating the same staff over and over again. Act 1 used to be about 20 minutes before the skip was discovered, and now it's about, like, 4. So this has cut a massive, massive chunk off the run. And there we go, we've got ourselves a dragon detector made out of just 5 sticks, because, you know, why not? Now for the dragon detector, Rincewind is going to get greedy, realise it's a gold detector, and actually go off and find this dragon for himself. So let's go ahead and go down. It's all the way down here in the barn, and that's going to be the end of Act 1. And you know, we're going to steal the dragon's treasure, and of course the dragon is here. Like, Rincewind, why do you not check the dragon was here before stealing their treasure? Ugh, oh my god. And this opens up the path to Act 2. So in Act 2, we have a chat with the dragon, and the dragon tells us that they were summoned by an evil cult, and we have to infiltrate this cult and find artifacts that the cult is using to keep the dragon here. There are 6 of them in total, but again, we are only going to get 1 of them. This one is probably the longest act in the speedrun. And we do need to do a few things before we can get one of those gold items. So first up, we need to get 3 items that we're going to use on later in the act. We're going to come to the broken drum here, the bar, and we need the glass, because that's going to let us eavesdrop on a conversation later on. So let's take that, we're going to walk back to the map, we're going to save it. Now we've got the glass, we're going to go to the square and get the next item, which is the butterfly net. And to get the butterfly's net, we need to go into the psychiatrist's office. We need to sit down, talk to the troll, and leave the psychiatrist's office. That causes the troll to change seats for some reason. I don't know why, but that means that we can now get the net that is on the wall. And this was kind of known at the time as being a very kind of esoteric point-and-click adventure game, shall we say? Load 2. There we go. Okay. It was a little bit difficult to get some of the puzzles, and some of them require specific knowledge for the Discworld series generally. That screen is one where it can crash, so I'm very glad that it did not crash. That is I'm always very grateful to the game when it decides not to crash on that screen. We're going to make a save here. All right, so now what we need to do, we need to find and infiltrate the cult. And to do that, we're going to go back in time. We're actually going to go back to the night, the previous night, which is when the cult summoned this dragon. So in order to do that, we need to use a feature of universities in the Discworld, which is L-Space. Now, L-Space is the concept in the Discworld that all libraries are connected. Like if you get a large enough collection of books in one place, they create a tunnel through to other libraries, including other libraries in time. So we're going to use this to go back to the same library the night before. It's a very complicated story. There's a lot of time travel involved. Look, just you just got to go with it at some point. So we give the golden monad to the librarian. The librarian opens up L-Space. We're going to go through L-Space, and that takes us back to the night before. And we're going to find out very quickly here that the thief's going to come in and steal a book. As we do this, we do need to turn sound effects off, because that's going to affect one of the cutscenes that we have coming up. As I say, the audio route is new for this marathon run, and fortunately we always have a nice little moment of rest before we actually in order to actually change the audio settings. So fortunately it works out really well in that regard. So we're just going to turn sound effects off, and that's going to cause one of the cutscenes later on to not play. Alright, so now we've seen the thief steal the book. We're going to go outside, follow the book through this shortcut they found. We need to do one thing before we follow the thief, and that is head to the park, where we're going to see Rincewind there. Now, that's Rincewind in the past, that's the night before, sleeping off the hangover for that glass of wine that they drank earlier in this run, because that glass of wine was called counterwise wine, which is grown from a grape that grows backwards in time. Look, I told you there's a lot to explain in this run, okay? And explaining the story of Discworld at breakneck speed is one of my favourite things to do. It's fantastic. We're going to use that to get this butterfly. We're going to go back to the map, and then we're going to finally follow the thief. We're not really going to follow the thief, we're just going to watch where the thief goes, and once the thief goes to the hideout, that unlocks the hideout location on the map, which we'll be going to later on. But we need to unlock it now, because that's when the thief's going to actually go there. That butterfly we actually got is one of the most notorious puzzles in this game, because it's actually a quantum butterfly, and we're going to use it over here. The thief just finished his pathing, that's why I entered the map there. We're going to use it to alter the future. By putting it around this lamp, and whenever a quantum butterfly flaps its wings, it creates thunderstorms. Now, this used to be a 40-second cutscene. If you watch you run other marathons, we sit here for literally 40 seconds just watching him get rained on. With sound effects turned off, that cutscene ends immediately. And the reason we have to do that is because he's now going to take his robe off. We're going to go take his robe, and this is the only moment in the run where I'm going to give my host a chance to jump in with some donations or something to read if they want to. We're just going to go get the robe and then head back.
All right, absolutely. I don't have any new donations for you right now, but I can remind people that we have some incentives going on. We have a character color choice for 1001 spikes any percent. We have the choice between brown, white, red, and green, with brown currently being in elite with 10 euros. And then we also have, for Pokemon Gold coming up later today, we have the Totodile name and the trainer name, which nobody has donated for yet. So if you want to get one of your own names in, get your donations in as well.
All right, fantastic. Now we have the robe, we've got the glass, and those are the two items that we need in order to infiltrate this here cult meeting. As we do this, I'm going to turn sound effects back on. This is actually something I only do for marathons, because this upcoming cutscene, we want the audio for it, let's be honest. It is very important that we have the audio for this cutscene. Now, this is where I like to talk about the voice acting in this game, because this is Like, the voice cast in this game is incredible, and is still incredible to this day. The voice of Rincewind, Eric Idle, obviously from Monty Python fame. The other supporting members of the cast, there's only 4 other voice actors for every single other character in this game. There's Rob Brydon, which most UK people will know from panel shows and comedy shows. There's Tony Robinson, which most people will know from Time Team or Baldrick from Blackadder. There is John Pertwee, the third Doctor from Doctor Who, and there's Kate Robbins, voice actor from Spitting Image. All incredible, like, top tier names. Unfortunately, we don't get to hear the voices too much during this run because I do have to run with voices off because it is slightly faster. But yeah, this is where we'd usually hear some of the stuff. This is like Tony Robinson talking to Rob Brydon, and so many of the conversations, because there's so many characters, so many of the conversations in this game are just Rob Brydon talking to Rob Brydon. And if you're a fan of Rob Brydon, that is just incredible to listen to. Anyway, what I need now, I need your help. I need your help, everybody in chat, because we need to summon a dragon. Because we're going to infiltrate this cult meeting. And what we need to do to summon a dragon is to chant dragon as loudly as we can all through the chat. But it doesn't really sound like dragon because they're so out of time. This is why I've turned on sound effects so that we can actually hear what it sounds like. It sounds more like Jagega. So as soon as this little bit finishes, we will start to hear it and then we'll start chanting. And then if we chant loud enough, we will summon the dragon. Jagega, Jagega, Jagega. Everybody join in. Jagega. I think they're supposed to be chanting dragon. It does not sound like dragon. It has never sounded like dragon. Jagega. Jagega. Alright. And if you believe, truly, we can summon a dragon. There we go. The dragon's been summoned. And the timeline has been restored. Wonderful. So now, that opens up a few flags, and that's going to let us start acquiring these golden items. Or rather, this golden item, because we're only going to get the one. So we're going to head back through Elspace, back to the present. Open up the path here. And from here, we're going to go and fetch the fastest to get golden item, which is the Dunnyman's Golden Tooth. In order to do that, we're going to buy a donut here from the Dibbler. Cut Me Own Throat Dibbler, again, a character from the books, if you have indeed read the books. And we're going to give the donut to the Dibbler. As ever, if you do just get a random stranger giving you a donut, obviously always eat that donut. Disclaimer, please don't do this. And we're going to turn off sound effects because, again, we've got a cutscene coming up that is slightly faster if we have the sound effects turned off, because the sound effect just outright doesn't play. And again, we had a little bit of waiting to do there, so that gave us time to do a bit of audio routing. So, there we go. We've given the donuts to the Dunnyman. He's run off to the dentist. And in order to get into the dentist, we need just one more thing. Oh. We need to go to our doctor's appointment. So, this is like how all doctor's appointment goes, right? You know, you talk to the doctor, you say hi, you go have a nice lie down on the couch, and then the doctor just hits you on the head with a mallet, and then you walk out. Which pretty much sums up every time I've been to the doctor anyway. And then we get some elevator music on the way out. Alright, and then we can head... oh no, we need to head back into the psychiatrist's office, because we need to get a note from the milkmaid, and I almost always forget this. And I was about to forget it then and walk away, but I didn't, which is I'm very proud of. Right, so now we've got the note, we will head over to the dentist. And this note that we've got is going to get the dentist to leave so that we can extract the Dunnyman's golden tooth. So here we are. Dentist and the barber are the same thing. This is very much kind of inspired by like old-time, you know, barbers that were also dentists. We're just going to use this apparatus over here, and obviously Rincewind, being a wizard from the Unseen University, is an expert in teeth extraction. As you can tell, this is exactly, you know, how dentists work as well. So we've got dentists, we've got doctors. This game really has everything. All right, we're going to save on 3. This is where we need our third save file, and then we're going to load 1. So this is right back at the beginning of Act 2, because that is our closest save to where the dragon is. And we've now got the tooth over on this save file, so we can turn 1 in. We can save 1, load 3, load 1. I'm going to try and do a fancy maneuver here to open luggage off screen. There we go. Nice. We're going to turn in the next tooth. That was a bit slow. Sometimes it doesn't give you back control for a while. And we're going to do it again. That's a third tooth. It's a really good thing that the Dunnyman has all of these teeth. We're going to do it again. That's a fourth tooth. I really hope he doesn't need any of these teeth. I mean, but it's fine. We've got him in the dentist chair, so we can just take as many teeth as we need. That's how it works, right? So let's just have the sixth tooth, and it'll basically act like we've turned in all 6 golden items, and it'll move on. And then the dragon kind of throws us a bit of a curveball and says, "Oh, thanks for freeing me. Now I'm going to kill every single person that was at that cult meeting, including Rincewind, and including all of you in chat. You were all there. You all chanted. You were all part of summoning this dragon, and now I've got to stop the dragon and make them never have been summoned in the first place. So to do that, we're going to come here. We're going to go to Nanny Og's place. We're going to take a custom book. We're going to reload Act 2, which is our closest one to L space. We're going to take the dragon book. So now the thief's going to come, and instead of stealing a book about how to summon a dragon, they're actually going to steal a book about how to make love potion custard. Because Naniog is a witch and makes custard out of love potion. When you eat it, you fall in love with whoever you're nearest. So rather than being a dragon summoning cult, they're going to be a love potion cult. A love potion custard cult. Yeah, this all makes sense for the lore of Discworld. So now we're going to eavesdrop on the cult again. They're going to continue exactly the same as before, but instead of summoning a dragon, they create love potion custard. And then Rincewind, in his hubris, does something very stupid. He comes over to the patrician, the ruler of Ankh-Morpork, and asks for a reward for stopping the dragon, which never got summoned in the first place. So the patrician, quite rightly, is just like, well, but then you didn't do anything, did you, if nothing happened in the first place? And that just goes to show that Rincewind now believes that the dragon is real. And the Discworld has an interesting property where if you believe something is real, it becomes real. And so now the dragon is real, not because the cult summoned it, but because Rincewind now believes in it, which, you know, it's a bit of a self-imposed problem, but either way, we've got to deal with it. So what we're supposed to be doing here in Act 3 now, we are now in Act 3, is we're supposed to be becoming a hero to make it exactly a 1,000,000 to 1 chance that we can defeat the dragon. If anything is a 1,000,000 to 1 chance on the Discworld, the gods of the Discworld have a sense of humour, and anything that is a 1,000,000 to 1 chance happens 9 times out of 10. However, we're not going to be doing any of that. We're not going to be becoming a hero. What we're going to be actually doing is now skipping to the end of the game, because we don't do Act 3 or Act 4 in any way intended. We're going to do something called the Ramkin skip. So I'm going to save here in the middle of town. We're going to go to the hideout. Again, this is now a love potion custard cult, so when we knock on the door, we're going to be given a love potion custard pie. And then we're going to just reload back here, and we're going to go to Lady Ramkin's Dragon Sanctuary, which we've just unlocked. We do need the pie before coming here, otherwise we do softlock the game later, which, again, I've done more times than I want to admit to. And we're going to do something called the Ramkin skip. So what we can do, the game is interestingly programmed, so that if you have a certain item, it just warps you to the end of the game. And we're going to get that item early by utilizing a miss trigger on this door. So what's supposed to happen is you play a bit of knock-a-door run here with Lady Ramkin. So firstly, you talk to her to unlock the back of the house. We're going to head to the back here. We're going to head straight back to the front. And usually what happens when you knock on this door, it's supposed to bring Lady Ramkin to the front and also lock the cage in the back. I might have messed that up. I might need to do this again, but that's fine. And nope, that's fine. But if you do it on the door rather than knocker, it brings Lady Ramkin to the front, but it leaves this cage unlocked, which kind of means that we can get access to this Mambo item. And Mambo is the item where if we have him in a certain state, next time we level transition, or next time we screen transition, it just takes us straight to the end of the game because it assumes we've done everything before it. And it's a bit broken, so what we're going to do is we need to get Mambo in that state. In order to do that, we're going to have to feed him. We need to feed him 3 firecrackers. Again, we're using a bit of a glitch here to duplicate these firecrackers, which I, again, just do not have time to explain. Basically, these firecrackers, you can pull individual ones out of them, and if you use Mambo on them rather than using them on Mambo, it doesn't cause the item to categorize itself as used, so you can just keep feeding it fireworks. And there we go, we fed it 3 fireworks. Mambo is now fed. We're going to screen transition. It's going to take us right to the end of the game. Time is coming up already. So here we go. Now we're on the final screen of the game. I'm going to enable voices when we come to the next little section that I can actually do inputs, because again we have to wait for a few seconds. We're going to use our M16 here, our Mambo 16, to fire at the dragon. Dragon's going to fire back. Again, that's a 1,000,000 to 1 chance that they miss us, but because we're a hero, it's exactly 1,000,000 to 1 chance. That happens 9 times out of 10. And unfortunately, our dragon decides to fall in love with the dragon. Ugh, typical dragon romance story. So what we need to do is make the dragon reciprocate that love. Fortunately, we have a love custard pie. We're just going to turn on voices for the final cutscene real quick. We're going to take the custard tart, and as soon as I throw the custard tart at the dragon, that's going to be time. 3, 2, 1, and now. Time. And so we throw the love custard pie at the dragon. The dragon eats the love custard, falls in love with our dragon, and they fly off happily into the sunset together. And that is the story of Discworld. So they just kind of fly around for a little bit, and we go to the pub, because obviously it's a British thing, and they're gonna do some aerial writing, spell out the end, fly around in a heart formation, and that's the end of the speedrun. I don't think I stopped talking that entire time.
It's okay. Make my job easier.
Yeah, you see why I was having trouble finding the time to let you speak. And then we have Death, the lad here, the greatest character in the Discworld, the anthropomorphic personification of the concept of death itself. And he's making all these excuses about how he was late for the final scene because nobody died. It's not my fault! Oh, bugger. And unfortunately, the final thing doesn't play. If anybody is unfamiliar with the Discworld, by the way, this is the Discworld. It is a flat world, a circular flat world, supported on the back of 4 giant elephants on the back of a giant turtle that just floats through space. So yeah, I think this explains pretty much everything you need to know about the Discworld. However, we had an incentive, I believe, to feed the dog, Gaspard the Wonder Dog. What's the status of that incentive?
That incentive has been met, actually.
Excellent, that incentive has been met. So I'm going to reload the save here in Act 3, and we're going to go and feed the dog. Now, in order to feed the dog, we need to do a couple of things first. We need to firstly, this is the square, this is not the, oh no, this is the right place. Dang, I always forget to go to the square, and then the one time I actually remember to go to the square, I forget that I remembered. We need to come to the square because we need access to the palace, which we're going to get from Dibbler here. We're going to get some leeches. Oops, luggage, thank you. We're going to pull some leeches out of that paper bag real quick. And we need to go and get a bone. We can get the bone from the palace by making these guards fall out with each other. And basically implying that their wives are fat, you know, standard 90s point-and-click adventure game shenanigans. This scene is also usually really loud, which is why I'm really glad that we've just turned off sound effects for this run now. And you can usually hear a really loud screaming noise on this screen. Again, fortunately, that is something that we don't need to deal with anymore, which is good, because I usually had to adjust the audio for this scene specifically. I'm going to take a bone from this here skeleton, which is going to cause it to collapse, and this is the bone that we're going to go and feed the dog. Before we feed the dog, though, we're going to do one more little tiny thing. We're going to make this dog a little bit, you know, this bone a little bit, you know, a little bit more irresistible. We're going to put a little bit of seasoning on the bone. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to head outside the palace. Thank you all for being such great animal lovers, by the way. We're going to go head over to the street. We're going to go to this toy shop, and we're going to put a little bit of seasoning from this here seasoning pot onto the glue to make it really irresistible. Because otherwise, he just spits the bone straight out. Spoiler alert. And with that, we can head over to the inn, where we will find Gaspard the Wonder Dog. Gaspard the Wonder Dog, a character from a few of the Discworld novels, a dog that learned to speak, and the source of one of my favourite Discworld quotes, which is, did that dog just say woof?
Here, doggy, doggy, doggy.
And there we go, the dog has been fed. Look how happy that dog is. Oh, isn't he cute?
What a good boy.
So that is Discworld.
Very suspicious looking dog, that.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your run. Okay, coming up next, we have Ape Escape 2, run by Recold, so don't go anywhere.